Good morning and welcome to the Blue Fern Yarn Podcast. I cannot remember the number of the episode of this one, so I'll pop it on the screen. My name is Shannon and I am the face dyer, designer, maker, post office person, everything in between for Blue Fern Yarns. Welcome to my podcast, my channel. Quite often you'll find on here videos of just my knitting and crochet and general crafty talks about whatever I'm working on or making or anything like that. Today is Monday the 16th of January. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope you've had a good start to 2023. I know I have. It's been quite busy. I've been lucky enough to spend some time with my family. I have visited family in Lincoln, which was really, really lovely. What else have I done? I've done lots of stuff for Blue Fern Yarns. So there isn't too much knitting or works in progress or much like that, but there is a bit. Some of which I finished a while ago, some of which, is what it is. I don't know how long this episode's going to be, so we shall see. You might want to grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or whatever your preference is. And join me in my nitty catch-up stuff. I am drinking Yorkshire tea, as that is one of my favourite drinks, and I get through enough cups a day. We'll crack on. Okay, so as I said, I am the face dyer, designer, everything in between for Blue Fern Yarns. There was a screen right at the front where you can find me, but I am on Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, YouTube, obviously, or you can contact me via email at bluefernyarns@gmail.com. I completely forgot what that was. I do have my own website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk, where you can find my hand-dyed yarn, high knitting needles, crochet hooks, handmade stitch markers and all sorts of other yarny crafty goodness, and also my patterns. My patterns are also on Ravelry and Etsy for those who prefer to shop via those ways as well. Today I have got a bit of knitting that I would like to show you, which are finished objects. I think they are all knitting. Yep, they're all knitting finished objects. I've got a couple of works in progress that I would like to share with you. Some purchases and some yarns that I am hoping to use throughout the year, and a few plans. I don't know, we'll see. We'll catch up with it all. I do need to apologise to everyone because last year I was not very regular with posting videos, working a full-time job and running quite busy small business. It is often quite difficult to find some time to record, but not only record, you have to edit and then upload. And upload, for those of you who do upload to YouTube, knows that it can take quite a bit of time. And also need to apologise about my Vlogmas. It didn't continue. I think I got up to day like 16 or something like that. I have got loads of recordings. I did record loads of videos, but I couldn't do much at home that I wanted to because I broke my camera stand. I have got a new one, obviously. That is what you're on at the moment. But yeah, I broke my camera stand and no matter what I did to try and fix it, and I got quite crafty with sharings, with trying to make sure that I had some space, and tying the phone to certain things, because I record everything on my phone. I am not a professional podcaster. I do not use a proper camera. But yeah, tying it to shelves, to books, to all sorts of random things that I could think of, that I could just try and get the camera to sit half straight and half still, so then I could actually record something. So I'm really sorry that I didn't continue Vlogmas. I am hoping to do it again later this year, but actually make sure my camera stand is perfect before I start, and may have to do some pre-recorded videos. Anyway, so all of that to say a big sorry, and I hope you guys understand. If I can, and if I remember, I will try and put some of the videos that I did shoot right at the end of this podcast, just so you can see what I got up to in December if you want. There is no pressure. But yeah, we'll make a start, shall we? So I am wearing a this was a sample knit made for me by a lovely lady who is super speedy at knitting, and she's made a couple of things for me now. This is the Darkwater jumper, and now I'm completely spacing on who it is by. I want to say Jennifer Steingass? I'll pop it on the screen. But yeah, so anyway, my sample knitter has made a lovely version. She has used, so the green is Pine and the cream is called Pampas. And I just love the way this looks. I wear this jumper quite a bit, but yeah, it is just stunning. I've got long sleeves, obviously, because I wanted to wear it throughout winter. It is done out of 4-ply yarn, so I've used, well, I haven't, but my lovely sample knitter used the my platinum base, which is 75/25 Merino nylon, and I love it. I love it. It is one of my favourite jumpers. I wear it all the time. Yeah, anyway. Thank you so much. But yeah, anyway, you know who you are. I would also like to share with you my Advent wrap. So this is my Babbling Brook Wrap, and you can buy that on Ravelry, Etsy, or my website. It's entirely up to you, wherever you prefer to buy your patterns, sort of thing. And this is the Babbling Brook Wrap, and it is in the colours from my Advent that I did for December. And this is sort of day one, and you can see sort of how the colours progress throughout December, and I absolutely love this. It is just stunning. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in one shot. When I was photographing it, oh, there we go, that's sort of almost in one shot. It's so going to end up being my YouTube cover, isn't it? So yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that sentence then. This is the Advent wrap, Babbling Brook. I will get a little bit closer on a semi-solid colour just so you can see how the pattern looks, and it just creates these little waves. And the name came to me because we were on, I can't remember the name of the beach now. I think we were at Cromer. Might have been at Cromer, near where I live, or on the coast to where I live. And Tom pointed it out, and we could see this water just travelling down through the sand and everything like that. And it just kept making me think of Babbling Brook, and that's sort of where the name for this one came from. If you don't know, I love nature. I love everything to do with nature, plants. I have quite a few houseplants that I'm just looking around at the moment thinking I really need to water them because I totally forgot. But yeah, and I just love these colours. And it is a bit of a circular fade, so you could have, if you've got the Advent and you don't know what you want to do with it, you could sort of go from either end or start in the middle or anything like that. It's entirely up to you. And yeah, so that is my Babbling Brook Wrap. I love it. I think it is stunning. I have seen a few people have made this pattern with their Advent who are so speedy to be able to catch up. On the pattern, you can... The pattern is actually written out for 4-ply and DK. So 4-ply yarn, you would need a contrast colour, which is this sort of grey one that I did. I called that Whetstones because it was greys with touches of blues in there as well. And browns, actually, saying that. There's blues, browns, there's all sorts of colours in this grey contrast colour. So you need one contrast colour for the Advent, and then 24 10-gram mini skeins on 4-ply or 20-gram mini skeins on DK, and each one will, it's basically written up so you could obviously make the pattern. If you were going to use 20 grams of 4-ply, you could effectively double this to make it a really, really wide one. So it's quite a narrow shawl. I say it's quite narrow, it's still quite a wide shawl wrap. But if you were going to use 20 grams of 4-ply, you could double it, so it could be absolutely huge, almost a blanket, which I'm now thinking would have been lovely, and I wish I'd done that. But anyway, I do have to thank my mum for making this one. She made this sample for me, and yeah, absolutely love it. Anyway, hope you like it. I have seen other people use it in different Advents and it's lovely. It's a great way to use up scraps if you've got them. If you're like me, I've got millions of scraps that I don't even know what to do with, so it's a good idea to use up some scraps too. So on to the next finished object. It's a pair of socks. And I didn't bring my sock blockers down, which is really, really annoying. I'm not going to hold both up, but there is two. I promise there's two. And this is the Snow in Wells colourway. And this was part of the holiday sock set that I did for 2022. And you, with this set, you got the option to choose whether you wanted 100-gram skein in a 20-gram mini or a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram mini. With the 100-gram you could choose 4-ply or DK, and then with the 50-gram you could only use 4-ply because 50 grams you wouldn't get very far with. And this is the colour that I came up with. So it's called Snow in Wells and I love it. I am so in love with this set. They're so my colours. I love blues, greens. Obviously, you can see that I love blues and greens. And yeah, really, really happy with this set. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. With the whole holiday sock set, you got a handmade candle from a lovely local to me maker. So another Norwich maker. In fact, she's so local to me. She lives like 3 roads down that way from me, which is amazing. I didn't know that when I contacted her, but yes. So lovely little candle set, or lovely little candle, handmade candle, yarn set. There was also some other little notions and bits in there as well. And I hope you all enjoyed opening those. So with this sock set, this colourway, I was on the lookout for a shawl that I could make using a sock set. So this is 120 grams of 4-ply yarn. And this is the Afflouncement Shawl by Louise Tilbrook. And I love this. It's quite a narrow shawl, but it does go on for quite a bit, and I'm struggling here to hold it all up. So that's sort of like half of it, and then you go all the way over to the other side, and you've got the other half. And it is ideal for when you wear those really big puffy coats in winter, and all you need is something quite small Oh gosh. Put my headphone back in so you guys can actually hear me, because it's got the microphone on it. It's the only thing I've got that's got a microphone on it. So yeah, when you're wearing your big puffy coat and all you need is just something really up close to your neck, this is perfect. It's such a lovely little shawlette. It hangs really nicely when you wear it as well. Look at this. This is so cute. So yeah, you don't even use the whole 100 grams. So I didn't write down the notes. So I used, I think it was like 79 grams of the 100 gram skein. And then I used like 12 grams of the 20 gram mini for the outside bit. And if I just get a little bit closer, you can see the outside section is a slightly different colour. So yeah, if you're looking for a different thing to make with your sock sets, the 120 gram ones, you can totally make this. I am going to make this again. It's a simple garter stitch, really, really easy pattern, very quick increases along the edge. You start in the middle just here and then very quick increases along the edge. Yeah, I loved this shawl. This was such a pleasure to make. Yeah, over the last couple of months, I feel like I've lost my knitting mojo a little bit. Possibly because you can see here, I've got my planners. I've kind of got into journaling and planning. But yeah, I've lost my mojo a little bit. And this really, really was a pleasure to knit whilst I was sort of not in the mood to knit. I kept getting home from my day job and wanting to knit on this rather than doing business stuff. I needed to do business stuff to catch up. But anyway, so, and also with this, I actually knit this alongside a friend of mine. So we both made the shawl out of the same colour yarn. And it was so lovely just messaging each other and saying, oh, how far are you up to? And yeah, it was such a pleasure to knit with somebody. So I think I'm going to make another one of these, and I might open up a make along to everyone else if they want to join along. But it won't be for a couple of weeks yet. I think it might be February, March time that I'll run that. But what do you think? Would you join in? Do you know of any other sort of sock set shawl patterns that you can think of? Yeah, just anything that you would like to sort of join in with, you could join in. Anything that you can recommend, please do so, because I think this might be my new obsession for a little while, is sock set shawls. I don't know if they actually name them that. I wonder if I search for them, whether something will come up. I'm sure something will. Somebody would have come up with the idea before, surely. But yeah, so you can see sort of how different it knits up in a pair of socks, and it's not too drastically different, I suppose. But yeah, so these are on 2.5mm needles. These are on, is it a 4mm needle? I think this was on a 4mm needle. So yeah, it's not drastically different, but I just I love this shawl. I love this little shawl. And I can't wait to make another one of these at some point in the very near future. Just look how lovely it hangs. I love this little curl that it does. Just there. Oh, it's so pretty. So, so pretty. And such a simple knit. It's in garter stitch, and then you've got a picot edge, which when you get to the edge and you do the cast off bit with this picot bit, put aside quite a bit of time, because seriously, it takes a long, long time to do the cast off. But once you put the time aside and you do it, it is so worth it. And then when I blocked it, I made sure I pulled out each of the bits so they look proper picot-y. Picot-y? It's a new word, I don't know. We're going to go with it. But yeah, so I was really, really pleased with that. Yeah. And they are my whips that I wanted to share with you. I'm sure there are more since I've last recorded, but I don't know what they are. If I find them, or if they're garments and I wear them, you'll have to see them at that point, because I don't know what else I've done. Because although I've written down some notes, I haven't quite planned it as well as I should do normally. And and looked at what I did last time to what I've got now. So I'm really sorry. Again, this is not a professional podcast in any way, shape or form. And yeah, it's what it is. Okay, so on to whips. I've only got a couple. So this one that is living in this super cute bag from the Fibre Fox. And I think it's her mum who makes the bags. And because it's penguins, I had to get it, didn't I? Because how adorable are they? I love them. I love penguins. Anyway, so this is a jumper that I am making for my mum. She has seen this, so I am happy to share this on here. And this is the colour. It's coming up a tiny bit brighter on the screen than it is in real life. I wonder if I pull it back. Oh, there we go. So that is probably about true to colour. If I go like that, it's a little bit brighter. Yeah, so it's about here. You can sort of see the colour. So this is called Silent Night, and it's a colourway that I brought to the shop very briefly at the beginning of December, and it kept selling out so quickly that it didn't last very long. But I am hoping to do some more, probably at the end of January or mid-February now. Actually, I think it's going to be mid-February. So it will be coming back to the shop if you are interested. I'm just using my DK Platinum base. And my mum's seen the colour, she knows what it is. She knew what pattern it was going to be because she requested it. But I haven't finished it yet. And because I've lost my mojo, it's just been sat in the bag for the last week. So I'm really sorry, Mum, but you will get it. Determined to make it and get it finished. So this, if you don't recognise it, I don't know where you've been. But this is the Whitmore sweater by Amy Loudon. And oh, just how gorgeous is that? It keeps rolling up at the bottom. I don't know why, but it does. I have asked my mum if she's happy with the length of it. She says she is. And when it blocks as well, it will drop a little bit. So this pattern will stretch out a bit more. I've made myself a Whitmore jumper, a Whitmore cardigan. I've made my nan a Whitmore cardigan, and now my mum a Whitmore jumper. It is such a pleasant pattern to work on. It's so simple. The way she writes it out is very easy. So I think that actually a beginner could do it. A beginner who can, what do you do? Can read a pattern, is willing to learn a stitch or two. Yeah, I think maybe not. Yeah, I think it could be your first garment. If you were happy with lace work and things like that, it could be your first garment. It's such a lovely pattern. But as you can see, I do need to do the sleeves. I have asked Mum if she wants short sleeves. She doesn't. So I'm about that way down on the first sleeve. But yeah, the reason I did the body first on this one is because I wanted to make sure that it was the right length, and then if she could only have 3/4 length sleeves because of all the yarn that I've dyed up, then she could only have 3/4 length sleeves. But I think I've got enough for long sleeves, so she has said she wants long sleeves. I should have just said, no, I don't have enough, sorry, but I didn't because I don't think that quickly. So yeah, the sleeve is currently on a cable ready to work on. So I don't know if you can see that. So it's already on a cable. And I use the higher knitting needles and cables and interchangeables and all that sort of stuff. And I've got some cable stoppers on the end there. So these are from Higher. They don't, oh, let me turn it back around. They don't stock them anymore. They keep, so the supplier, I keep asking the supplier if they're going to restock them. And currently they're not. I don't know why, because they were always so popular. And how adorable are they? They're knitting on little socks. And normally in a set you get 2 of the same colour. but I have like a little tin here and I've got a couple in there. So I just literally pick out whichever, and that's what I work on basically. The cable stoppers, if they do come back in stock, I will stock them. However, they do have, and I have a couple of them, unless they're on a project somewhere, no. They do have, and I have some of these in the shops, you have like these little glass beads, and it's got this gorgeous gold detail all the way through them. They are quite tiny, but all the cable stoppers fit the cables that I have in the shop. If you are interested, head on over to bluefernYarns.co.uk and have a look at the descriptions, because the descriptions on the listings will explain that you have different cables for different needles. Basically it's a couple of different sizes. You have miniature, small and large. All the ones that I stock in my shop all fit the same stuff, so you can go nuts basically if you want to and know that they will fit. But yeah, if they do bring these panda ones back, I will be restocking them because they are adorable. And yeah, so this is the Whitmore by Amy Loudon. Definitely recommend this as a pattern and a make for anyone who hasn't made one yet. It is super lovely, and this is really, really squishy because it's DK. I don't often use DK, I quite often use 4-ply more often. I don't know why I keep saying that. Yeah, so I use 4-ply more often than DK. No real reason why, just because that's the pattern that I want to make and it seems to be in 4-ply. So this is really, really squidgy. It's really lovely and super soft. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait until that's done. And I can hand that to Mum. I'm sure she'd be super excited about that. Another whip that I've got is living in my Eldenwood bag. So this is Eldenwood Crafts. So Emma has made this gorgeous bag for me. So last year, itch nose, I'm sorry. Last year we did a bit of a swap. So I gave her some yarn and she made me, very kindly, made me a bag. This is, I don't know if this will let me show you properly, but over on the other side as well is the last of it. So that's her logo. You've got these ginormous, you've got loads of space in this. I think this is her medium size, and you've got loads of space. You've got big pockets, 2 of them, and drawstrings and a little handle, because it's brilliant. I love this bag. I saw this fabric pop up on her, I think it was her Instagram page, and I was like, oh my god, Emma, what are you doing? And I had to have it. I couldn't find it on her shop at the time. I messaged her saying, has it sold out? Are you going to bring it back? Because I just love this fabric. It is so fun. Just all those leaf prints. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, enough fangirling over Emma and her amazing craft. So in here, and the reason I've picked quite a big one for such a small project is because the project will grow throughout the year. And I can talk about this because I know Tom won't watch this, and I know he's not here, he's not due home anytime soon, so he's not going to walk in on me saying this. I am doing a sock set for this year, and I am rubbish at making him socks. I get really, really excited. I make the first one, and then I'm like, oh my god, I've got to make a second one, and I don't want to. Now, he likes odd socks, so, brainwave of an idea, I am collecting a set of my sock sets throughout every single month that I'm dyeing this year. And the plan, if I stick to it, is to be that I will be making up a single sock out of each set for him. So then he will have, in theory, at the end of the year, 12 different socks, but all made the exact same way, because he is quite picky about that bit. They've got to feel the same on his foot, but they don't have to look the same, because according to him, life is too short to wear matching socks. Me, if I wear matching socks, I feel like I've got my shit together, basically. If I don't wear matching socks, I feel like everything's out of whack and I can't cope. Because I'm an idiot. But anyway, so this is the yarn that I'm using. It is technically those 3 colours. And this is the January colourway that I've got. So this was the monthly sock club that I'm doing is let me get this the right way around. It's the birth month flower. And every month I will be sharing an image of the flower, and then that is going to basically inspire the colours that I'm dyeing the yarn. So this is the yarn that I've created, and the flower was carnation. So you've got a main skein and then usually 1 20-gram mini skein. But when I was dyeing this, I couldn't decide which I loved best. So everyone got an extra mini skein for January. I don't know if that'll happen every single month, but if you pre-order, you get an extra free mini skein if I can't decide which colour goes best. Otherwise, it will normally be a main skein and a mini skein, and you've got a selection of bases to choose from if you are interested, but don't feel like you have to if you don't want to. So January's birth month flower is carnation. I'm going to pop a picture up towards the side so you can see the flower next to the yarn set that I created. And I have done this much of his first sock. And I am really, really tangled up, so bear with me. So he likes quite longer leg socks than I do. And obviously he's got a longer foot. So I cast on and I did a 1x1 twisted rib cuff. So all of his cuffs will have 1x1 twisted rib. I can't remember the number of rows that I did. I think it's probably 15. Looks like 15. So I've done 15 rounds. Then I've done, I'm not going to count these because you'll be here forever. I've done a number of rounds for the leg, and I've written down exactly what I've done for his sock. He normally likes the afterthought heel, but because he has caught me knitting on this occasionally, and he walked in when I was about to get to the heel bit, I couldn't just put a stitch marker in and then carry on down, because then he'd have, oh, that's an idea. Maybe they're for me. So I had to do the heel that I like. So I've done the heel flap and gusset. And then obviously I've got quite far down the foot. I actually think I need to do another inch in the main colour, and then I can do the toe. And I'm going to do the toe in this green colour because he pointed out that he really liked this one. So I thought I'd put more of that on there, because I was going to do the heel and toe in this, and the toe and the cuff in this corally colourway, and then the heel in the green, olivey green type colour. But he likes the green, so I figured I'd put extra green on it. So he's got a January sock, or he will have, but he doesn't know this. And hopefully I will keep up with it, and he can have a box of socks for Christmas. He thinks I'm currently just making show samples. I feel really sneaky. Does anyone else do this? Do you feel like really, really sneaky when you're trying to knit on things? And I try and do it when he's not here, but sometimes he gets home early because he works shift work, and he has caught me a couple of times working on it. So that's why he's got a heel that I prefer but will fit him anyway. And yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? So hopefully he will like that, and he'll like the set of socks that he'll get at the end of the year. I guess time will tell until then. But we shall see, and he'll have a box of socks. Because he got a little bit jealous that I had a box of socks. Because although I didn't do that many socks in 2022, he was a bit upset that he didn't get a box of socks. So anyway, this year he'll get one. I don't know if I'll carry it on year after year, but this year he'll get one. And anyway, so I've got one more whip that I want to show you, and I need to find the ball of yarn, because what I tend to do is when I work on blankets, and I've just pulled the stitches out anyway, hang on. It's crochet, so it's easy. You don't lose loads, do you? You only lose 1 or 2, and then you just do it again. Simples. Anyway, so I had a set of mini skeins. They were like 5 gram mini skeins from Laura at the Lonely Knitter, and they were the Scrappy club that she was doing, and it was based on TV shows, but I can't remember what she specifically called the Scrappy club. But she did one of Hill House. It was Hill House, and I can't remember the full name of the TV programme now. The Haunting of Hill House, I think it was called, actually. And I loved that series, to the point where I've watched it like 3 or 4 times now. And I really enjoyed it. It's just my thing, I like it. So yeah, you get a set of 10 5 gram mini skeins, which she hand winds, like hand skeins and everything like that. It's insane. And I've done that before, and it's a lot of work. In fact, I did that with my Advent last year, and that was a lot of work. But yeah, so these are the colours. I say these are the colours. You can literally see 2 or maybe 3 on that. So what I've done is I've put them all together in a knot ball, because I didn't know what to do with them. I've lost my sock mojo. I'm a bit bored of socks at the moment. I'm hoping that will come back, because I do love hand knitted socks. But also, actually, about my hand knitted socks, I have got so many that I don't even know where I'm going to put them if I make myself some more. Don't get me wrong, I am going to. But I don't know where I'm going to put them. I might have to start selling my handmade socks, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so, yeah, set of 10 5 gram mini skeins, all wound up into a knot ball. And I had no idea what I was going to do with them. And then I don't know where this came from. So this brainwave happened. And you may recognise this. This is a really... Oh, it's not really old. It's like a year and a bit old, maybe. Not quite 2 years old. But it's a blanket that I've designed. So this is the Cozy Comfort blanket. And it does this gorgeous textured stitch. And what it does is... It actually sort of, when you have it on you, it traps some of the air in when you have it on you, and it means it just stays that little bit warmer than another crochet blanket. I don't know how or why. That wasn't the intention for doing it. It just happened that way. But yeah, so I worked that blanket all the way up to here, and then I cast off because that's what I wanted. That's exactly how I wanted it. I enjoyed it. I used up loads of my scraps in my stash at the time. And yeah, I had it as a vertical stripe one. So the rows are very, very long. And then I had the idea. I was like, I'm going to add them to this, because this is my Scrappy blanket. I love it. I didn't need to start another one because I haven't quite got enough. I probably do, actually. I've got a basket on the end of my little puff thing over here, and it's full of Scrappy. So I've probably got enough. I could have started another blanket, but I didn't. And I've added it onto here, and I love it. So yeah, because it's only 5 grams, you don't get a whole much to a row. So some of the rows are actually really, really fine. In fact, here you can see like the red only pokes through a little bit, and then the pink. But yeah, so I've just adding them to this blanket because I thought, why not? Yeah, why not? And I love it. I think it is brilliant. It's working really, really lovely. And one of my goals for this year is to use up my stash. And this is what it's doing. It's using up my stash. I'm still going to keep the blanket. I'm still going to use the blanket. But because I hadn't used the blanket... Well, I have used it. Hang on. Sorry. I have used the blanket. So because the blanket wasn't very, very old, it didn't matter that I could add some new yarns to it. Who says you can't? Who says you can't go back to an old whip and add to it? I love it at the bottom. It's so pretty. But yeah, so I'm just doing that, and that's my other whip. I've only got that much left, so it only created like 50 grams. I've only got that much left, so I think I'm on to the 5th colour at the moment out of that set. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I don't know why you can't go back to an old whip. Who says you can't? If they say you can't, tell them to go away. They're wrong. It's your whip. It's your knitting. Knit what you want. Crochet what you want. That's a crochet one, obviously. But knit, crochet, make what you want. It's your stuff. Your knitting, cast on if you want to, as Ruth says. Or it's my knitting, I'll cast on if I want to, because I love that hashtag. I think it's brilliant. Anyway, so that is all of my knitting and my finished objects and my whips. And I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to move because I'm sat on my foot, which has now got pins and needles in. I do it all the time, and I doubt I will ever learn. This is probably cold. Yep. Ugh, cold tea. Ugh, no. I'll have to make myself another one in a minute. So a couple of things that I wanted to show you. I got, this is yarn, this is sort of incoming yarn, and it's all been added to my stash. Am I going to show you? Yeah, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to stretch over here with all my planners and my journals and bits and bobs. I have actually written out all of my stash. Now that doesn't look too bad if you turn the page as well. There's only one up there. So this is my stash. This does not include that basket of scraps that I mentioned. There's way over there. So yeah, it doesn't include any of that, but it includes sort of the yarns that I've got upstairs sitting in my stash that needs to be used. So I didn't think it was too bad. I did work out how many meters I've got, and I thought this was so funny. So I've got 11,147 meters of yarn, usually sitting upstairs. And yeah, and I thought it was just hilarious. So I've written out my stash. I'm writing out the dates when I start and finish it. I'm writing out the meters that I actually use, because there is somebody on Instagram, and I cannot remember for the life of me who it is. I wonder whether I'll be able to find it. If I find it, I will pop the name on the screen. They've set up like a make-along to use, or a goal to use 2,032 meters of yarn, or is it grams? Can't remember if it's grams or meters or yards or something like that, for 2023. And I thought it'd be interesting just to find out how much I use. Any new stuff that comes in, I will add it in here, and see what I end up with at the end of the year, because this year I'm trying to use up stash. But we all know that I will buy more, because I've got a couple of yarn shows this year, and I will buy more. But if I use it, I can then buy more, can't I? I can replace it. It's not like I need any more space to store it, right? That's what I'm telling Tom. Anyway, and I've got a couple of like yellow post-it notes in there. They are just ideas of what I'm going to use the yarn for. I don't know. Whether I will stick to those, I don't know. They're post-its because I didn't know, and I wanted to be able to remove it and hide it if it wasn't quite right. So anyway, this was a gift. This was very kindly gifted to me at Christmas. So it's the Yarn Badger. That's her logo. I've never used any of the Yarn Badger yarn before, and it is so soft. So this is called Double Rainbow Superwash Merino Sparkle, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 400 meters is what it says. It also says batch 2 on there, just in case you want to see that. Yeah, and it is so lovely. it's like a proper rainbow. I'm assuming it's self-striping because that's what they specialise in. And it looks like it might be. But because I haven't unwound it, I haven't used this before, I haven't used any of their Yarn Badger stuff before. I'm quite excited to see how it'll work out. But, oh, look how beautiful that is. It's so pretty. Anyway, so yeah, got that one. That came in at Christmas. I have got 2 more that I treated myself to. Did I do it early December? Was it late November? I think it was early December that I bought these. So these are from Helen at Giddy Yarns. They're self-striping. So I don't do self-striping just because I don't have the space. If I did, I would love to have a go. And there's so many people who do it who are fantastic. So I figured, why buy it? Why make it when I can buy it? But anyway, so I have bought from Helen before the sock sets. So she does, you can either get 100 gram gobstopper ball and a 20, I don't know if she does the 20 gram minis with the 100 gram gobstopper ball. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, nearly dropped it. But I quite often get the 50 gram ones from her because they do come with the mini skein, and I only need 50 grams for me. So this colour is called Poinsettia, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and you get 212 metres per 50 grams, 85 metres per 20 grams. So that is one of the sets that I've got from her, and that's her logo. If you haven't seen her stuff before, please do go check her out. She is a very talented dyer. I can't remember where in Scotland, but she is from Scotland. Or she lives in Scotland. I don't think she's from Scotland. I don't think she was born there. I don't know. I suppose it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's one set that I got, and here is another set that I bought. And, oh, love these colours. Look at these. So again, it's a 70 gram sock set. So you've got the 20 gram mini, and then you've got the 50 grams. And she winds these all by hand, and look how pretty that is. It's always so neat. I'm always like, yeah, it's just beautiful. Anyway, so this is called Mycelium, and it's the same base as the last one. And there is a friend of mine who wears a lot of these colours, so I think it might become a pair of socks for her. It might, I don't know. I haven't quite decided. And if not, it's a pair of socks for me. Because I can. And then the last thing I want to show you, if I can get it the right way around. Is it that way around? Sorry, bear with me. You may have just seen a little sneak peek. So this, and I'm sorry that it's all squished together. I'm trying to stretch it out a little. So this is the Beehive Yarns Advent. And I love it. It is so, so pretty. So, oh, sorry, I kicked the stand. So it's Beth from Beehive Yarns, and she did, I think it was called A Year at the Year at the Cabin, and I believe it's based on a load of books. I've not read the books, but I treat myself to one Advent every year is my aim going forwards. And these are the colours. So I think it was each 6 created a season. So you've got the first season is spring, then it goes into summer, autumn and winter. And can you not see that as you look through from right to left? Oh, it is just beautiful. And I've popped it on some string, some yarn actually. So I popped it on some yarn so then I can keep it in the order that it was delivered in, or that it was opened in, because I did it last year where I got a Advent from, I think it was the Fibre Fox, and I ended up messing up the colours. I put them in an order that I liked, but I know you can do that anyway, and I could do that with this. That is not a problem to do that. But I really enjoyed opening this every single day and just seeing how each colour worked together, and it looks so lovely, doesn't it? Just going to keep holding this up. Maybe this will become my my YouTube thing. What do they call it? Cover photo. Maybe? Do we think? So yeah, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it. I have got an idea for another pattern. And yeah, we're going to see if I'm going to test it out. If it works, I'm going to write up the pattern and use all of these yarns. And yeah, hopefully it will create something beautiful. I'd like to share some news about my shop update. If you don't want to stay here for that, please don't feel like you have to. I haven't got anything down here to show you because some of it's secret stuff, some of it's stuff that isn't quite ready to be photographed. It's over there drying because I have yarn everywhere. And this is like the shot. There is no yarn drying, so this is why we're being recorded here today. Anyway, so anyway, if you don't want to join, don't feel like you have to. Thank you so much for joining and being here and chatting with me. It's been so lovely to actually get back into doing this. Hopefully I will record going forwards, but I'm not going to set plans because every time I do on YouTube, I don't stick to them. So we shall see when I next record. So if you are staying for the shop update, this is the shop news. So the next update is Thursday, the 26th of January, and it will go live at 7 p.m. GMT UK time. And there's a few things going into the shop. So we have got the last ever restock of the Snow and Wells sock sets. So you could either make the shawl, as I've shown, or the socks. It's entirely up to you. These have all been dyed up, and the reason it's the last time ever is because I can't remember what I'm saying now. So the people who I buy my dye from, they've changed their recipe. So the colour that I used before was this, and obviously I've mixed these colours a little bit, but now with their new dye, it's completely changed. It's actually turned a lot more green, which is not a problem, but it is not Snow and Wells colour. So I have stocked up as much as I can with these sets. So yeah, it'll be the last time you'll ever be able to get them. I have tried recreating the colour in different ways, and I've now got a load of yarn that I can't use because it's not quite right. So yeah, if you are interested in these, please do be quick, because once they're sold out, they're gone. They're not coming back, unfortunately, which is such a shame. So yeah, so there's a load of those. There is also going to be the January sock sets being restocked. Again, this is the last time that they're going to be restocked, because I did this last year where I restocked every month. And I just got to the point where I was just dyeing the same colours over and over, and to be honest, I can't keep up with that, especially with me working a day job as well as running Blue Fern. It just meant that I was running out of time for everything else, and I've got so many plans for this year that I kind of don't want to lose them. If you order anything on pre-order, the numbers are unlimited, so you can order as many as you want. Obviously, if they get too high, I might have to stop the pre-order. But yeah, if you want a January sock set, they will be restocked, and that's the sock that I showed you that I'm making for Tom. The leftovers for any February sock sets or mini sets will also be popped on the website. March's pre-order will go up on the website and will be there for a couple of weeks. So I've had a couple of people ask me why I do my monthly pre-orders so far in advance. My reason is that I love knitting, using that yarn for that month in that month. Does that make sense? So it's January, and I've been knitting on the January yarn sock set. So this is the January yarn sock set. So February's is up, February's is not up, sorry, the pre-order has been taken down. But the pre-order stays up for about 2 weeks, and I do give notice as to when it's coming down. And then the idea is for me to ship the yarn in the last week of the month. So then you can, so February's will be shipped next week, or the week after. Next week, I believe it is, towards the end of next week. And then you've then got a week for it to arrive at your door. And then on the 1st of February, you can start using the yarn. And that's something that brings me a lot of joy. And that's what I would like to bring to everyone else. So you can use the yarn in the month that it's supposed to relate to. Anyway, deep breath. And yeah, so that's sort of what's going on. There is potentially some Valentine's colours coming as well. I haven't quite finished dyeing all of those, so I've got to make sure they're all dyed this week and then dried and photographed this weekend, ready for the update, which is the 26th, as I said. But yeah, so the update only happens on my website. It's bluefernyarns.co.uk. If you are international and would prefer it on Etsy, please get in touch. That is something that I can do, so you can sort out all your taxes beforehand. And because of Brexit and things like that, I can't do anything with regards to the taxes they get paid afterwards, and it just is what it is at the moment, unfortunately. I'm really sorry. I will do what I can, but that is why I've got my Etsy shop reopened. If you want to buy from me through there, pop me a message and I'll pop out there for you. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh no, one more thing. It's a bit more of an admin-y thing. Again, with Blue Fern Yarns, I have set up a loyalty program on my website where you can start earning points. So every time you order anything, you get 2 points per pound, which can then be turned into further discounts, whether it's percentage off, or it could be vouchers, so you can like earn £5 vouchers, £10 vouchers to get money off your orders. Yeah, and it's something that I hope you guys will enjoy. It's something that I can give back to you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed setting it all up and getting it all ready for you. Now I think that's everything. I think I need a drink. Hopefully you've stuck around to the end and you've enjoyed it. If you do, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you can subscribe, that would be brilliant. And hopefully see you again in the very near future.